Good morning, students. Hope you will be fine and enjoying your good health. This is your geography lesson. Students, as you know that we are studying unit number 9, industrial development, secondary and tertiary industries. And in this regard, we have discussed a lot about industries. Today we will discuss formal and informal sectors and importance of the formal and informal sectors in Pakistan. So we start our lesson. Students, the formal sector utilizes capital, unskilled labor and skilled labor in production and produces a traded good which is both an investment and a consumption good. The informal sector uses capital and unskilled labor in production and produces a non-traded consumption good. Now you are supposed to open page number 165 and read and understand more about the importance of the formal and informal sectors. The formal and informal sectors are important for Pakistan in the following ways. So what is the importance? How it is useful for the Pakistan? Number one, they provide industrial goods to meet the requirements of the domestic market. Number one importance is that they fulfill the requirement of the domestic market. Number two, they generate employment opportunities in the industrial sector. Second advantage of formal and informal sector is that they generate employment opportunities. They provide jobs and earning to the people of Pakistan. Number three, the informal sector makes use of domestic raw materials, thus no burden on imports. The informal sector is cheap as it uses raw material. Raw material is provided by Pakistan economy, Pakistan domestic market. So there is no burden on imports. We cannot buy or we cannot import things in this sector. Number four, some products of the formal and informal sectors are exported and earn foreign exchange for the country. If formal and informal sectors are producing goods in heavy amount and in bulk production, they are exported to different countries and in return we earn foreign exchange for Pakistan. Number five, the informal sector does not require important machinery and high technology, so it saves foreign exchange resources. The informal sector is very affordable for Pakistan as it does not require any imported machinery, high machinery, technology or heavy investment. So it saves foreign exchange resources for Pakistan. It does not create burden on the economy of Pakistan. The difference between formal sector and informal sector. Students, formal sectors represent all jobs with specific working hours and regular wages, and the worker's job is assured. The workers are employed by the government, state, or private sector enterprises. It is a licensed organization and is liable to pay taxes. Informal sectors are deemed low with low production value. And these comprised of domestic workers, home-based workers, street vendors, and waste pickers. The majority of the population is concentrated in informal sectors. They cannot afford to pay taxes, they can hardly earn the basic bread of the day. Therefore, they prefer to work which is easily accessible to them, such as farming, selling well on a street where they don't have to pay taxes. The activities in formal sectors are licensed and are obliged by the government, and these organizations are usually big private firms and organizations. On the other hand, the informal sector do not possess such privileges. Contribution of the formal and informal sectors to the development of industries. Both the formal and informal sectors promote industrial growth in Pakistan. So both sectors are important for the growth and for the development, industrial development of Pakistan. The formal sector includes many local and multinational companies which are registered with the government. So in the formal sectors there are many national and multinational companies that are registered. The examples of formal sector industries are Pakistan Steel Mills, Cotton Textile Mills, pharmaceutical companies, Anglo Corporation, Unilever, Procter and Gamble, McDonald's, Park Oil or Refinery Company, McDonald, KFC, etc. So these are the registered and formal companies working in Pakistan. These industrial units make use of modern technology, follow international standards, and produce standardized goods. So these are following the international standards of production and producing goods at international level. The formal sector plays a positive role in the industrial expansion of Pakistan. So this is a sector that is very important part and part and parcel of the economy of Pakistan. These industries contribute to goods and services for the domestic and international markets, provide employment and contribute to the GDP, gross domestic product. So these are the industries. The formal sector is contributing a lot for the production of domestic goods as well as the goods that we are exporting at international level. The informal sector includes only local industrial units which are not registered with the government. Examples of the informal sector are cottage industries such as carpets, rugs, embroidery, pottery, ceramics, traditional textile units, unregistered food processing units, etc. On the other hand, the informal sector includes local industrial units which are not registered. These industries are not registered by the government. They are producing goods independently. There is self-employment. They are contributing a lot, no doubt about it, but on domestic level. And the informal sector includes cottage industries such carpet, rugs, poetry, and traditional textile, etc. So locally people are people are manufacturing carpets, rugs, poetry, embroidery, and traditional textile units. They also contribute to industrial expansion, but in many cases produce substandard industrial products. Informal sector is contributing a lot for the production of domestic things, but their production is not standardized at the international level. They do not fulfill the requirement of international imports, so they are useful for the domestic industry only. Lack of standardization and no quality control lower the confidence of consumers and reduce demand for these goods. As this is self-employment, these are not registered by the government and these are not standardized industries. The sector is not do not meet to the requirement of the standardized quality, so local consumer also does not depend on domestic goods, so the demand is lower than formal sector. The profit of industry is curtailed impose a restriction. Consequently, in many cases, it negatively affects industrial growth as the informal sector does not meet the basic requirements of standard, so it creates a negative impact on the industrial growth. However, despite a weak structure, the informal sector is constantly expanding because it supplies low priced goods to people. As it has many faults, it has negative effect on the economy of Pakistan, but on domestic level it is expanding day by day because of low price, because of cheap goods, and people can afford the goods easily. Thank you for listening. Take care. Allah Hafiz.